Welcome people to the first ever episode of the Hoops Hustle Pod. My name's JB.
My name's KJ.
And we're a weekly basketball pod that's going to be covering everything to do with the NBA.
So make sure you stay locked in.
And make sure you follow us on all social media as well. So for our first topic, where else to start but the LA Lakers? Bro, what's going on with the Lakers this season, man?
I feel like this Lakers team has been so up and down, coming like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
My thing is like, coming into the season, I thought like they built the team like very well.
Oh yeah, people said they won the off-season.
But now looking into it, it's like, I feel like they've had some injuries here and there. They've had some players not perform. Maybe it's like, okay, they were performing well for their contracts in the summer.
Yeah.
But now they got their big bag. It's like, yo, what's happened with you guys?
I think the most concerning thing about the Lakers right now is AD and LeBron have been healthy the whole season. They've probably missed about 2 games, 3 games altogether. That's the most concerning thing for me, is that those 2 guys are still healthy. AD right now, the last month and a half, he's been playing at an MVP level, and the Lakers are 3-10 since the in-season tournament. I feel like they have a lot of one-dimensional players outside of AD, LeBron, and maybe Reeves. They have a lot of guys who can either shoot, can't play defense, or either play defense or can't shoot. But right now, I feel like none of them can shoot on the team.
I think my thing is, looking at the starting 5, Darvin Ham needs to fix up that starting 5.
Bro, I've seen like 10 different starting lineups.
Because it's basically 3 against 5.
Yeah,
if you think about it,
yeah.
There's no offense coming. You have Torian Prince, you have Cam Reddish, and you have sometimes D'Lo averaging together 10 points.
Yeah.
And then you have AD and LeBron getting 60 points between the 2 of them, and it's like, that ain't sufficient.
There's so much inconsistency, because I mean, with the starting lineup right now, you got, anytime, let's say, LeBron and AD are trying to run a pick and roll, you got the defenders just sagging off Cam Reddish, Vando, so they're kind of playing 4 against 5, 3 against 5. So
the daring, I feel like with offense, they need someone that can create their own. And the thing is, with bringing Reeves off the bench and putting him into the starting lineup, which is nice, but it's like you lose your bench scoring. So it's like they need someone who can score and create their own. And that's why there's a couple players in free agency who I feel like they can pick up.
There is. What do you think, man? Apparently, obviously, the big name right now is Zach LaVine. Do you think if they can bring him onto the team, I'm not going to say championship favourites, but will they have a better chance of making the championship?
I feel like they definitely will.
Yeah.
Because what they need is a 3-point shooting. Zach LaVine has that.
They need 3-point shooting.
They need athleticism.
Yeah, they do.
Zach LaVine has that. And they need someone that can create their own.
Without LeBron and AD.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Zach LaVine, he's a good pickup, but it just depends on what are you giving up for him. Like, for me, Reeves, I'm not giving up Reeves for Zach LaVine. Rui, probably I won't give him up.
I can't give him up, you know.
You know what, yeah, for me, he's definitely 50-50.
Yeah.
He's 50-50.
It depends on who you're bringing in.
Yeah. But I would say, like, obviously, Prince can go, Reddish can go, Vando, like, those kind of one-dimensional players. But my thing as well with the Lakers, they've got a lot of size, they've got a lot of length, no homo. And it's like, they're kind of athletic on defense. They shouldn't be this bad on defense. What's the problem? Like,
I feel like it's that AD at the 4 and AD at the 5 situation. I feel like if you look at that 2020 team, he had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard to play the 5.
Yeah.
And AD can just be free safety, roaming around, doing his thing, everything. But if you look at the Lakers and their bigs depth, they've got Christian Wood, who's a bit skinny on the interior.
He's more of a 4, man. He's not really like a 5. Yeah.
And so it's like, I feel like Brook Lopez would have been a player in free agency that would have been perfect fit.
That would have been an A1 fit for the Lakers, yeah.
So that's why I feel like they're giving up on defense, and then also offense like trumps defense in my opinion. And if you have 3 against 5, they're zero in on those 3 players, so making LeBron, AD tired to the point that when they're on defense, it's like
it's a wrap, yeah. But obviously we speak about the players, but what about the coaching? Darvin Ham, or should I say Darvin Scam, whatever you want to call him. There's been a lot of talk about him recently. It seems like there's been a lot of animosity between him and some of the players. There was a report that came out that says 6 different personnel. It could be players, it could be front office, or like within the Lakers organization, they have a problem right now with his rotations, the way he's running his team, the lineup changes. Do you think he's the best coach?
LeBron and AD are even having some form of...
You can tell, like, LeBron, there was a video that went out. I remember, did you see it? LeBron was running up and down. Like, yeah, no, not that one. I saw that one as well. But there was a video, it was like a 4th quarter play, like 2 minutes left in the game. And then Darvin Ham's trying to call out a play, and like LeBron and AD like wave him off and like, nah, like, we're not listening to you kind of thing.
I feel like... But I saw this morning that Jeannie Buss said that she's sticking by him.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you look at him, you've been telling me for time that he's a scam, but like I wasn't believing it. But I feel like this
I was
season,
him since last year still.
I've seen a report somewhere where the starting lineup that basically got them to the Western Conference Finals, he's only played them 3 minutes.
That's inexcusable. Like, that's a fireable offence.
Like, for me, that team actually took you from that tragic season last season to the Western Conference Finals, where it was, even though you got swept, it was competitive games. So.
Yeah, it was. The last 4 games were competitive. But that's the thing is, like, that's a lineup has had success. And yet you've only played them how many minutes? Like 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes the entire season, like.
To be fair, I'll allow you, Vando's been injured here and there, but still, for me, it's like you can't be relying on Cam Reddish, who's only averaging like 1.5 points.
It's crazy.
That's poor.
It's crazy. And I think Vando is averaging like 1.5. Vando, is the negative on offense.
Like, that is, for me, that is so poor. Like, you're a professional baller and you can't even get one layup or 2 layups in a game.
Like, when you get the ball, they're not even bother looking at the basket. It's just either passing it out. It's kind of like a Draymond Green. But at least Draymond can maybe sometimes go for shots here and there. But
Draymond's got IQ to be able to know what to do. But there was one play, I think, it was one of these games recently, like LeBron gave them the ball and then instantly they just threw it back to LeBron and it's turnover. It's like, yo.
And you're right under the basket kind of thing. Like, for me, I was out on Darvin Ham like early. Even with Westbrook on the team last year, like I kind of saw the writing on the wall a little bit in terms of his lineups, in terms of not bringing in the right players when it's kind of obvious it should be, and it's timeouts. A team will go on a 20-0 run, this guy will have his hands in his pockets and not call a timeout.
Fam, if you think about the way how we coach Westbrook, we're seeing the difference between Clippers now and Lakers then. And it's like, he just didn't approach it well. Like, for me, Westbrook's a decent baller. I don't think the fit well in Lakers.
No, it definitely didn't.
But I feel like Darvin Ham could have done something whereby he could have mended that relationship with Westbrook so that he can come off the bench. Because look at the Clippers now.
They're rolling.
They're rolling.
They're rolling.
Like, I've never seen Kawhi this happy in my life.
Yeah, I've seen him smiling, joking around on the bench. I think they're 16-2 right now in their last 18 games.
And who would have thought that those 5 games losing streak with James Harden first joined?
Listen, I was trolling Clippers fan in that 5-game losing streak because the Lakers were winning at that point and the Clippers 5 games in a row. But now it's come back to bite me, man. So with the way they're playing right now, do you think the Clippers can win a championship this season?
You know what? I think they can, I feel like they've actually got depth and they're clicking.
They are clicking right now.
And the thing is, I think the issue was when James Harden came in was, can all 4 of them play well together? And if you actually look at it, with Russ coming off the bench, James Harden not even in tip-top shape yet, and they're clicking. Kawhi's looking like Kawhi of old.
He's been bullied.
And you know me, how I feel about PG. I feel like PG is one of the most versatile players in the league. Like, they're doing so well.
You think they've got the formula right now, yeah?
They've got the formula, but my question is James Harden going to be there in the playoffs?
See, that's my thing with the Clippers, yeah. I've seen them play great in a regular season, but for whatever reason, whether it comes down to health, choking, whatever reason it is, it just somehow doesn't work in the playoffs. So I'm skeptical. With the way they're playing right now, easily they can be a contender for the championship. But they're just that part of me that just doesn't believe in them 100%, because I just need to see it in the playoffs, especially with James Harden. Kawhi and PG, that's one thing. But James Harden, that's a whole other ball game. That guy and the playoffs just don't go together. So,
but like you were saying earlier with AD and LeBron being healthy, if you actually look at it, Kawhi and PG have actually been healthy throughout the season.
They have. Kawhi's missed like a little stretch recently, but relatively he has been quite healthy. I think that 65-game rule they enforced this season has been a big factor in regards to a lot of players playing more. Like, even like LeBron, I'm surprised he's played this much as well. I think he's missed that 1 game. I mean, we'll see with the Clippers. Like, they are playing great ball. Credit to Ty Lue as well, making it work with Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi, and PG all together. They got Norman Powell. They got Zubac as well at centre. They got a good team. They got a really good team. I can't lie, I'm hating. As a Lakers fan, I'm hating right now with the way they're playing, but it is what it is.
Who do you think will go further, Clippers or Lakers?
Okay, if both of them are in the playoffs, again, it just depends on who they're matched up against. But I can't lie, in the playoffs, I do trust LeBron and AD more than I do trust the Clippers. So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's a hard one, man. With the way the Clippers are playing right now, I can't pick against them right now, but we'll see. Speaking of trades, we're coming to trade season, or we're in trade season actually.
Yeah.
The Knicks recently pulled off a trade for OG Anunoby. Right now they're 3-0 with him. What other trades do you think a team can make to put them in that championship window?
I think one team is Philly. If you look at what Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and just the way how they're clicking, I feel like they're like a Pascal Siakam, a player away from.
It's definitely a wing player, I would say. They are.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
Or even a PG, but obviously that's hypothetical. That one's not happening. But
myth.
they're like a Pascal Siakam, even maybe a DeJounte Murray.
I know what you mean. There's just something there, or maybe on a wing that, because Embiid's been crazy. That's my MVP pick. I don't care what no one says. Right now, halfway through the season, he's my MVP. I think in December he was averaging 40 a game. Like he's putting.
Yeah, but if you're playing
numbers.
teams like Pistons, but that's a.
He has some easy. But listen, you play who you play. Like whoever's in front of you have to play. I'm trying to think, man. Maybe a Lowry Markkinen from the Jazz.
For the 76ers?
Yeah, for the Sixers. Paired up with Embiid and Maxey.
I was hearing Lowry Markkinen for OKC.
I was hearing that as well, because OKC got a war chest of picks, so...
They're another team that I feel like...
They might be one player away.
I feel like they are one player away, but at the same time, it's like, do you want to mess up what they have going?
It's true. Because right now, they're ahead of schedule. Everyone knows, like, the future is probably theirs, so... I mean, but is it, like, I feel like with championship window, if you have a chance to win a championship, if I was a GM, I'll be pulling triggers. If I have a chance, and I can say definitely I'm a contender or I might be a championship favourite, I'm pulling the trigger. So for OKC, I would say if they keep SGA, Chet and Williams, that's their core three right now. And if you add Lowry Markkinen into that.
Do you know another team that's also possibly a trade away from making noise? And they were in the off-season trying to make a trade for one of the biggest players. It's Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Because they've surprisingly have just been coasting.
They have. And the thing is with the Heat, they could lose 70 games. I can still pick them to make the Eastern Conference Finals. They just have, I don't know what it is in the playoffs, but they seem to come alive.
It's that Heat culture, man.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like that's real, man, that Heat culture.
They need a wing that can create their own.
And the thing is, I was even hearing, would you take, if you was a Miami Heat GM, would you trade for LeBron if he became available? Let us know. If you are the Miami Heat GM, would you trade for LeBron to try and win the championship this season?
It depends what I'm giving away. I'm definitely not giving away Jaime's. Because he's
probably
he's
gone,
one
so.
for the future.
Jaime's probably... Jaime, Tyler Hero, there was a problem.
Tyler Hero I can get rid of.
Yeah.
Because you need to remember that LeBron's 39 years old now.
Yeah.
So you're not trading him for...
It's not a prime LeBron.
Yeah, and you're not having him long term. It's like probably 2 years at best.
Maybe even a year at best, feeling true. Because he's a free agent at the end of the season. So probably he might just do like a 1 year contract.
I don't think I will trade for LeBron.
I don't think I would. Even though that's my guy, one of the best players in the world, but I feel like at his age, the risk to reward factor...
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. It's a good hypothetical. And also, I saw another one. If you were the Sixers, would you trade for LeBron? I feel like the Sixers, yeah, I feel like the Sixers have a much better chance.
That one, I will do that in a heartbeat. Because for me, it's just like, they've got a good young core.
Yep.
You got Embiid, who is...
Top 2, top 3, top 4. At least he's top 5.
I feel like if you compare AD and Embiid, like, that is what you want AD to be.
It's true.
Embiid, like, no matter who it is, maybe if it's Jokic.
Apart from the Celtics, no, he gets up for Jokic. But for whatever reason, it's the Celtics, that's his kryptonite.
Yeah, but you know Celtics, when it comes to LeBron would just...
That's what I'm saying, like, if you were the Sixers and you had a chance to trade for LeBron, let us know, would you make that trade? Personally, I'm making that trade.
Nah, in a heartbeat.
I'm making that trade. Do you think that puts them as championship favourites?
I feel like that puts them just above the line. It also depends what you give up in terms of bench, but I feel like...
Yeah.
For me, Embiid is what you want AD to be.
Like, people obviously talk about AD, how great he is, he's great, but Embiid... But then again, Embiid in the playoffs, he's kind of like James Harden as well.
Nah, I feel like Embiid's just been injuries. Embiid, like, for me, there's a difference between him and James Harden. Embiid's been injuries, James Harden just been bottling.
Choking, yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting trade, man. LeBron probably won't be made available. But then again, you never know with the NBA. They like to throw in a curveball.
Talking about OKC, in terms of like them being ahead of schedule, do you feel like SGA should be an MVP favourite?
I wasn't there before, but from what I've seen from him the last month, it's like he's ticking all the boxes. A young team, he's leading them, averaging 30 a game. Number 2 in the West. I think right now they might be number 3 because they just lost the game.
Deep West.
In a deep West, like I'm talking about really contenders, big contenders in the West. And he's leading them as a young team. They've got basically a rookie, a second-year player, and they're second in the West or third in the West at the moment. It's like, what more does he need to do?
I feel like if it wasn't for Embiid having this monster year, a year that's better than even his MVP year last year, I think SJ would have been my MVP favourite. But for me, it's just like, well, what he's doing, it's just...
Like, and the thing is, what is so crazy about the way SGA is playing, the guy hardly takes threes. All his stuff is mid-range. Like, he's a guard and he's posting guys up, posting them up, backing them down.
With confidence
getting
as well.
a fadeaway, like... And the thing is, as well, that kind of game translates to the playoffs. You need someone that can be able to penetrate the defense, get inside, get you an easy bucket, get you a 2. And I think I saw a picture the other day as well. He was driving and then 5 guys were on him. Like, that's how you know you're getting that superstar treatment. So, man, SGA, man. And the thing is, I never saw any of this. When he was with the Clippers, I knew he was a good young player. And obviously when he went to OKC, I didn't expect any of this. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Looking back at it now, who won that trade? Because if you think about it, even though, Clippers got PG, in a sense they got PG and Kawhi. So PG and Kawhi versus SJ.
It's like, it's a hard one, man, because obviously you have to make that trade if you want Kawhi, but they haven't won a championship.
For me, right now, SJ is the best player out of the 3 of them now.
Ooh.
Well, he's playing like it.
Oh, no, okay, yeah, definitely this season he's playing like it, but you taking it above Kawhi.
I feel like in the grand scheme of things, if we take away all the injuries that Kawhi has been missing games, then no, I wouldn't take him above Kawhi. But
that's a hard one, man.
The way it's played out, I feel like OKC's won that trade.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that one, to be honest, because obviously
on top of the picks that they've got from Clippers.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well. Because the Clippers haven't won the championship. If they won the chip, I would have said then obviously, easy one. But it's true, they haven't won yet. SGA is balling and he's a future. But speaking of another team that needs to make a trade, the Golden State Warriors, they're sitting at 10th in the West right now, just inside the play-in. But I feel like everyone realizes this team presently constructed, even with Draymond maybe coming back, I don't know they have enough to make that push for a championship this season.
The thing is, I've always been a huge Warrior fan in terms of how they've done their organisation.
Yeah, 100%.
But they need to blow it up. I think Bob Myers left at the right time.
I feel like he knew what was coming. He knew the writing on the wall, especially after that Lakers series. He knew that, okay, it's time for me. I've got my 4 rings. It's time for me to jet out because I feel like, one, they're just too small. When they go against the big teams. Steph is still Steph. He's doing what he needs to do. But you're still relying on Klay Thompson, who you can tell he's definitely taken a step back this season. Obviously, the young players are right now having trouble with the coach. Kuminga recently came out, had a report saying that he's lost faith in his coach. As a young player coming out saying that, that's crazy still. But
someone that's playing minutes ahead of Draymond right now as well.
Yeah, that's very crazy.
For me, the Warriors, there's just been so much in the last 3-4 years that they've messed up. Yeah. I feel like they messed up picking, what's his name, James Wiseman, number 2.
Yeah, that was
even though, yes, coming out of college, he was talented for me. And for me, it's like you always got to pick the best available player. And for me, that was Melo.
Could you imagine Melo or Halliburton? Because remember, Halliburton was in that draft as well.
So I feel like they drafted wrong. Then they also allowed the whole Jordan Poole fiasco to go.
Yeah.
Because Jordan Poole on that team actually made sense.
It did.
Someone that can get 20 to 30 points on any given night.
Because essentially you swapped out Jordan Poole for Chris Paul.
Which made sense at the beginning of the season, but it's just like the decisions that they're making all not adding up. Allowing Draymond Green to basically bully Jordan Poole out of the team, for me, makes no sense. You got Moses Moody, you got Jonathan Kuminga, who are also, one of them were lottery picks.
Yeah.
One of them losing faith in the coach is like, yo, what's happening?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to think what trade is out there for them. Obviously, the main one I keep hearing is Pascal Siakam from the Raptors. Again, they can make that trade, but does that make them a championship contender?
I was saying this to someone the other day. They're too small now. Yeah. Like, the small ball only works because you had Steph in his prime, Klay in his prime, and then you got KD, who's literally the cheap plug for any team. I feel like now, if you look at the last teams that won, Nuggets last year, big. Completely big. The year before, who was it?
I know, but it was the Warriors though. Yeah,
Warriors.
so it's like they did end up winning.
Fair enough, cool, but you had shooting and you were playing against Celtics, who was small.
Yeah.
The year before that, it was Milwaukee, big. The year
team.
before that, Lakers, big.
Team.
Like they actually have big players. So for me, it's just like that small ball lineup for me is not working no more.
And the thing is as well, the league's caught up to what they do. A lot of the league is running the same kind of thing. Everyone's shooting threes now. So it's like, you can be up 10 against the Warriors, they'll come down, hit like 4 or 5 threes in a row, boom, they've caught up. But now, the whole league's doing that. So it's like...
And with size as well.
And with size as well, exactly. So it's like, that same runs they used to make, it doesn't really hit the same nowadays. So, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think a big player they can trade for. There's not really anyone out there, man, for...
And you also need to look at the salary kind of cap. Like, they're also
paid a lot.
financial...
Yeah.
So for me, it's like they need to get rid of Wiggins.
And
for me, I feel like Clay's time...
It's either Clay or Draymond. I think they might will probably keep Draymond, but I think Clay is,
That's another player that will do well for the Lakers. I'm not gonna... I know you keep going to the Lakers,
it's true. Okay, so my thing is, if they don't get it done this season, there's not really like I don't know what they can really do to change it. Could you see Steph asking out?
I think Steph is staying there for life.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one player that, if you look at like the Kobe's, the Dirks, they're one team. He's the last of the one team thing. Yeah. But I feel like with Klay Thompson's contract looming, I don't think they'll probably offer him a contract just to be on nice. But I feel like Klay needs to leave.
Yeah, I don't think I feel like the contract they will offer him, it won't be the big money he's looking for. So I do feel like he might leave at the end of the season, Klay Thompson, to be honest. Because I don't think they're going to offer him that big contract.
But at the same time, for me, I don't feel like they can make a move now that will make them contenders anytime soon.
Unless, like, I don't know, someone mad asks out in the next few months or something.
If you think about it, they bottled their chance to rebuild around Steph.
Yeah, 100%.
They actually bottled. They had good draft picks.
Great draft picks.
They drafted well with Jordan Poole, drafted poorly with Wiseman. So imagine if they did the right thing, like getting LaMelo and then flipping that into a player that makes sense.
You know, they had the number 1 pick. Why didn't they just flip it into a star?
Number 2.
No, it was Wiseman.
Yeah, number 2. Because number 1 was Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about it. Yeah. Number 2 pick. Yeah, why didn't they flip that into someone else? I don't know, man. I feel like, the Warriors window, it might be over. Because again, Steph is 35 now. He's not getting any younger. Klay and Draymond, they're definitely not getting any younger.
Talking of young stars, I feel like, who do you feel like is going to be the future face of the league?
I'm going to say, I think it's either Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, or probably Jason Tatum. I feel like anytime I see like NBA like banners, adverts and stuff, it's LeBron, Steph, and Jason Tatum. And then they have like Giannis as well. I
feel like the 3 players you named are all 3 good players. But I just don't feel like any of them are going to be the face of the league like LeBron. Man. I feel like...
LeBron's going to leave a big gap.
Like, I feel like he's that... If you remember when Jordan left, it was just like... It was the pool of everyone.
Yeah,
you had your KG, Shaq, Kobe. Like, no one was like the face of the league. And then LeBron came. I feel like we're also in that area where it's going to be like Anthony Edwards. You got Tyrese Halliburton, who's also balling. I feel like he's going to be the new point guard. Like
he is, man. Hey, he's killing it as well right now.
You got...
what about Luka? You just don't feel like he has that...
Luka, I like his game. For me, he's like baby.
Like for me, he's third in my MVP rankings.
I can respect that. Maybe not my third, but I can respect that. Like, for me, it's like... I just don't think he's got enough to be a face of the league.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's a hard one, man. Again, you got Giannis as well, but again, that international kind of thing, I don't think he will be marketable enough. It's hard, man. I don't know. I don't know what the NBA is going to do. Then again, you got Victor Wembanyama. You say you don't see it?
I'm not seeing it. From time you got Java around, hammering on him, for me, it's just like...
Nah, he's balling though. Recently he's been balling still.
I'll give him that, but I feel like for me, Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards, for me are the 2 that have persona.
That's it. You need personality, character. You need marketability as well. I'm talking like I'm in the business or something, but those are the things you do need, man, in terms of the face of the league. So, yeah, man, we'll see.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the first ever episode of the Hoops Hustle podcast. Happy New Year to you all.
And make sure you follow us on all social media as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, wherever we may be, wherever you see our faces, give us a follow.